How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the stream. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, but figured I should stop by and, catch up with you guys. How's the background music level versus voice? I think my voice might be a little bit quiet right now. Just waiting on the chat. Hi from Paris. We've got Reaper for podcasting. We've got Robert E. Philip. Sorry if I said that wrong. Danny. We've got Martin, Legrand, Evan, Danny. Yeah, cool. I'm still struggling with this 2 PC setup. I kind of hate it, but I kind of like it at the same time. It's just like, it's so convenient to have a single PC and 2 monitors, but when you have the 2 monitors be separate computers, it's just hard to multitask instead of being easier to multitask with live streaming and pop-up windows and all the stuff you need. I was trying to get my my chat window to come up on my iPad, but it's not sending for some reason. Level's good. So these this is metal backing tracks from Backing Tracks, like the service, the artist name is Backing Tracks, and they only do metal. So I figured I'd check it out. Not a lot of people doing metal stream safe stuff. Images sharper than my vocals before Truth too. Yeah, this is I'll just briefly explain my setup, I guess. So this is a Panasonic G7, which is a mirrorless camera. Looks like a DSLR, but it's a mirrorless. Fairly inexpensive, I guess. It's like 800 Canadian. And as far as cameras go, that's on the lower end. And I've got a Olympus lens on it. I can't remember the zoom length, but it's pretty expensive lens. I wish I had this damn chat window over here. It's not working. Send to device. It says sent and it's not going. So it's a zoom lens. I think that's about right. I've got it on manual focus. The autofocus on this camera sucks. Even with a good lens, it's pretty bad. And that's set to 4K, and that's going into a cheap capture card. It looks a lot better going through a Camlink 4K. But I'm using the Camlink 4K for my Mac right now. So if I switch cameras, there's my Mac coming in on HDMI to USB into the PC. And then I've got my PC on this other button. Back to the camera. Who's in Canada? I am. Did I mention that? I don't think I mentioned that. Tiki says, just want to say hi. Welcome. It's okay if you can't stay. What's the topic for today? Just, I don't know. I just wanted to do a stream because I didn't want to do anything last week. So like last weekend, I was working on a new video, and it just didn't work out. I wasted a day on that, and then that was kind of depressing and didn't really have any other ideas for what to do. And so I'm oh yeah, I know I did mention it was Canadian dollars. The project didn't work, and so I wasted a day on that, and I didn't have any other ideas. I didn't really feel like making any videos. I didn't feel like doing any streams or anything. I didn't even play games last week. Bye. And so yeah, I've just been kind of like rearranging my lighting. It probably looks exactly the same to everyone else. And yeah, just going on eBay and Amazon and just buying little bits and accessories because I find the tech stuff interesting and constantly tweaking my setup and improving it. It's what I can do when I don't have inspiration. So yeah, that's what's been going on. A couple things for my setup that's new. I've got a grid diffuser on my light now, which you can't see. Oh well. But basically, it makes the light more parallel, I guess, or no, more directional anyways. It softens it because it can't spill. So without the grid diffuser, the background lights over here look more washed out. So it's like keep throwing money at it until this background looks dark, and that's the most annoying thing. I also changed the position of this light. It used to be over here, which was, aiming directly at that. So now it's above on this side, and so I have more shadow on this side, but I kind of dig it. I also changed something in my OBS settings. So here it is. So if I go to filters, you can't see this, but I've got a LUT on this. So if I bypass this is straight out of camera, and then this is just a slight color correction that is on all the time, and it just kind of improves the video, and then I have less to do in editing. You guys are talking about something. You gave the lens price in Canadian. Nobody does that but Canadians. Hilarious. Yeah, I totally do that. Yeah, I got the lens. It was probably like a $1,400 lens, but in Canadian dollars, and used on sale. I got a pretty good deal for it. So I'm actually gonna show you my kit page. I should probably tell the Discord that I'm live as well. Hang on a sec. Let me get my link. Okay, so PC Zoom. All right, so this is sort of up to date. Not really, but let's see if I can find that lens. No. Camlink, G7, Superboard stuff. I am actually using this mic today. The last one or two videos I was using the SM7, but just, I don't know. I've got my audio interface connected to my Mac, and then I've got analog cables going out to the PC, or I've got a digital feed. So all the audio from my Mac goes through loopback and into the Camlink. And so I can't separate my voice from music and Reaper and things like that. So for streaming today, I figure the USB mic just keeps things separate and easy. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, that lens. I think it was in this one. No? I'm sure I had it added to one of these. I guess not. Hang on a sec. I gotta look at it. It's Olympus 12-40 Pro. So like on B&H, it's 900 US. So, and yeah, the way I have it set up makes it look exactly like the lens I was using before. Which is a Sigma, I can't remember, EXDN 19mm f2.8. So yeah, I bought this $900 lens to have the exact same look as the lens I was already using. But eventually, when I get a second camera, I'll at least have the option. And it's kind of nice to be able to, like, you know, have zoom on it and be able to have f2.8 through the entire zoom length. And that's why you buy a pro lens, a pro zoom lens, versus like the kit lenses, which the aperture changes as you go through the zoom length. So the further you're zoomed in, the darker the image is. This stays the same brightness no matter what focal length. So I think that's awesome. And lucky to get a deal on that. So I will put a link to my kit page if I can ever find the chat window again. There's some questions or comments about the isotope bundle. I've got a lot of the isotope stuff already, so I didn't check out that bundle. I use RX version 7 like in everything that I do, music and video, podcasts, everything. So even if you get the Elements version, I think it's worth getting, like, for the voice denoise, the declick, decrackle, declip. I use those quite a lot. Can you talk a little about what you know about multi-track recording audio interfaces and mixers? I have 18 inputs, but I want more. Maybe you can help me understand integrating more inputs. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So, what's a website that has that? Are you in the US or Canada? We'll do Amazon.com. So what you're looking for is an audio interface. Well, your audio interface, if it has 18 inputs already, it may not have additional digital inputs, but you're looking for like a light pipe mic preamp. No, let's do let's say Presonus. What is that thing called? Let's search for preamp. Yeah, the Digimax, or whatever the current version of this is. It has 8 preamps, and on the back it has analog outputs, but it also has a single optical cable that goes into your audio interface. So if we just take something like the 18i20, hang on. Just had to hand off a iPad. Okay, so on the back of this, where is it? There's 0 pictures of the back. Love that. Well, on the back of this, it will have a optical light pipe cable connection that gives you 8 channels in, and then this built-in mixer lets you choose what things you're monitoring and everything like that. And then in Reaper, you would just see that as an additional input. Pretty simple. So if I switch to my Mac, in Reaper, if I go to my input selector, you guys can see this, I think. Let's zoom in. I've got my first 2 analog inputs. I've got my line inputs on the back of the interface. And then I've got the set to SPDIF ADAT 1 and 2. But if I go into AudioFuse, this is the software for my audio interface, and set my digital mode to ADAT. Okay. Oh, come on. It didn't even... It's not doing what I want. It's supposed to show 8 inputs there. Come on. Maybe it's because I'm already using it. It's supposed to be really simple, but it's not today. Just turn it off and turn on. What the hell? Oh, maybe it doesn't show it. Oh, there it is. Digital in. There we go. So all the ADAT inputs just come up as different faders, and pretty much any audio interface that has optical connections will be exactly the same for this. It will have its own software for mixing. This is your monitoring mix. So if you want to hear it outside of Reaper, use this. 0 latency, all that stuff. But inside of Reaper, it just comes up as another input. Oh, by the way, guys, when I was talking about not having any videos made last week, I do have one coming up, but it has to be approved by the sponsor. So, so in the meantime, I figured a stream would be a good thing to do. All right, so now when we go to the inputs, for input mono, oh, it lost my audio interface. Awesome. Seriously? We're having a great day. We're having a great day. What's going on? Oh, 96K. Why did it do that? All right. Select the input. Awesome. It just... my audio interface just isn't there anymore. That's fantastic. I love that. It's so good. Device missing. Why did I do this? Where's the sound settings? Am I the only person that like can never find anything in that window? Yeah, it's just not there. It's on. Everything's plugged in. I probably have to restart the whole computer. But yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be simple, but it's just never is today when you're streaming. Let's go back to the chat. So anyways, yeah, optical in is basically the way you do it. And then other than that, there's the coax SPDIF cable gives you 2 more inputs. And some interfaces can actually, like, what do you call it? Like daisy chain, kind of. You connect, like, if FireWire is not really used anymore, but you could have at one point chained 3 PreSonus interfaces together. Yeah, you totally broke my computer, and I'm not mad at all. It's totally fine. Like the PreSonus not FirePod, the other one. I guess for FirePod, you could have 3 of those connected with FireWire cables to each other and 1 cable to the computer. And it would just see that as a single interface with, I don't know, 26 inputs or something. I don't have a digital connection connected, but it should work. Like, it's Reaper's not seeing it at all, which is very strange. And I don't know. It is what it is. I probably just have to restart the computer. That's fine. If it's like if you have a mixer, and it has more line inputs than it does mic preamps, then you can get a external preamp, things like that. Yeah, and some of them have direct outs, which would let you tap into like if you have a mixer that has direct outs, you could take the preamps from that, run that into an interface. But it's a little hard to find interfaces that have more line inputs than preamps. Like if there's 8 preamps, there's usually no additional line inputs. They just are combo jacks and things like that. Thinking about buying an AudioFuse studio version. It seems not working well. I don't know what's going on with it today. It's usually very reliable. It just suddenly stopped working. And it could, I'm not sure why, actually. It could be that I just need to restart the computer. I think that's all it is. Usually I have this on SPDIF Optical, I think. No, SPDIF Coax. I do really like the interface, and I would recommend it. And most of the time, it works fantastic. The larger version I haven't used, but I would consider that as well. I don't really need more preamps. Very rarely using more than 2 preamps. I've got a rack of gear that I don't use at all. Josh Int is a good name. For multiple inputs, something like PreSonus Studio Live rack mixers can give you 16, 24, 32 inputs straight off the bat. Yeah, that's a good option. I don't really know how those work in studio versus like live. Like for live, it makes a lot of sense. But for studio, I don't know, you always kind of worry about like the quality of the signal when they pack so much stuff into a single package, like, you know, like the Behringer stuff. It's like, oh, there's 32 preamps in that, and it's like less than 25 per preamp. It's kind of like, well, you can't really get great quality stuff at that point. You can find line level only interfaces, but then you're talking lots of money. Yeah, like the not DigiDesign, Avid stuff, or you know, the dedicated rack stuff that takes the D sub connectors, and then at that point all of your cabling costs more and things like that. But for home studio use, most people don't really need more than like 2 inputs. Josh, and I see a lot of really bad usernames on YouTube. So when I see a good one, I like to mention it, draw attention to it. Should we risk restarting my Mac without? I think it'll be fine. The only thing I need to do is reconnect my my mouse share keyboard sharing thing. I'll restart. Hopefully this works. Dropping frames. Thanks for the heads up. Oh, I am. I am dropping a lot of frames. Stream says it's healthy though. Video's been choppy. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna restart those backing tracks. Yeah, so Loopback still says my audio fuse is missing. But you can see it on the meters. I don't know. Seems fine. What were we doing? Does my mouse work here? Yeah, it does. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't really change video settings while streaming. I don't think. I don't think I can change the bitrate. No, I can't. Yeah, on the question of different Mackie mixers, I don't really recommend mixers at all for home studios. Just never, they never appealed to me. Maybe if I had like a wall of vintage synths, then running through a mixer would make sense. But for me, it's like, I'd rather just have direct inputs on an interface. Yeah, I'm sure they both sound fine. Things like built-in effects, like maybe it doesn't matter that much. Hey, Chris Norris. Thanks for dropping by. I might try to reconnect. I don't know why my stream is dropping so many frames. It would be nice to know if it said why, but it doesn't seem to. Yeah, OBS isn't even telling me like anything helpful here. It's definitely a lot of dropped frames. So 9% is really bad, but then it's not giving me any information about why. Oh yeah, I don't know if I ever said this. I don't think I did a stream since April or something like that. The last time I did a stream, I think my internet went down, and then my computer switched to my iPhone. Something happened, and I used all the data for a month in like an hour. And and so I couldn't use my phone for the rest of the month. Yeah, and my internet has been flaky for weeks, and I bought a new router, and it didn't seem to help. So I don't know. I don't know. It seems okay today, but it's been pretty bad. Like it's been taking an hour to upload a podcast edit to Dropbox, or like uploading videos. There's been all kinds of weird things. Anyone have any more questions about tech junk or Reaper things? I do have a contact for Heda, but if he's left the forum, then it's probably for a good reason. I haven't seen him in a little while. I was trying to get him to fix something. Loudness graph. I was trying to get him to update loudness graph to use the newest DP meter. You can do it yourself pretty easily, but it would just be easier for me to promote that product. And, you know, it's just already set up. You don't have to mod it yourself for every single user. But as far as I know, he hasn't updated it yet. And he hasn't updated it since like 2016. Yeah, the internet issues and networking stuff, I just can't dedicate the brain space to that. It's just like with scripting, I can't maintain or retain any of that information. Cob Wobbler says, can you edit video in Reaper? Everything you see on my channel past 2015 is edited in Reaper. So yeah, lots of stuff. There's a lot of things you can do in Reaper, but it's not particularly difficult. Video stuff is a little harder than other dedicated video editors, but the audio editing capabilities makes it like so much easier to learn that way. There's so much you can do with audio on the video part of, or video within video editing. You can do so much of the audio work in there and not having to switch, jump back and forth between like Premiere and Reaper to edit your audio, or Premiere and Audition. It's worth it to stay in Reaper for me. Okay, QoS settings. I did check that. Yeah. This PC doesn't have Wi-Fi. So, and I bought all new cables. I bought all new Cat5, Cat 6. One of them, Cat 6 cables, I think. I could change the QoS, but it didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I can look at that. I don't really want to do that on stream. Oh, I can't do that while I'm streaming because that will probably reset the router and I'll disconnect entirely. But yeah, I'll hit you up on Discord. I should put in a link to the Discord. You guys didn't know. We've been hanging out on Discord quite a lot, and over 600 members on here. I'm going to get a link. Keep losing the chat window. So if you have Reaper questions throughout the week, you want to know when people are going live or when there's a new video related to Reaper, there's, yeah, all the main video creators hang out there, except Kenny. He's too busy. But yeah, it's occasionally I'll do a live stream in the lounge there, just so that I don't need to worry about the cameras and the lighting and all that stuff. Just really casual hangouts. Yeah. So I have no idea how to pronounce your name. But he says video editing in Reaper is great because I use many Reaper plugins to enhance audio, and even Mav Video has great audio. So people stay longer watching. I think I got those words backwards, but the point is true. We have an awesome community on the Discord. What's it called? Unofficial Reaper Users Group, I think it's called. I didn't choose the name. I used to have a Reaper blog Discord for my Patreon, but it was pretty much dead from the start. So over 600 members, growing fast, and yeah, it's pretty fun. A while ago I got this little accessory, this here. One of those little tech improvements. This is like a double ball joint thing. I'm gonna accidentally disconnect my mic and do this. But it allows unlimited motion, which is very important for audio geeks. Being able to position the mic any way you want. I also bought the Blue Compass mic arm, which has been pretty good. No real complaints about it. Those cheap mic stands that I was using before, like, have all the springs in it, and they just like reverb anytime you bump the mic. Very annoying. Frame rate dropping is kind of a cool effect. Well, I wish it wasn't happening at all. It's just because I'm streaming at 2K instead of 720p. Oh yeah, glitch effects is something that I want to do more of in the video editing. I have a bunch of presets, but I never ended up making the tutorial videos or publishing the presets. Oh, the swinging mic arm thing. It's a Audio-Technica AT8456. It's like $60, but it's so well built that I think it's totally worth it. And I don't know if I'm going to do a video on this topic. It might be geeky enough that I'm actually like excited to talk about it. But I'll show you the SM7. So the Shure SM7 has the plug coming out here, right? And when you have it on the stand, the plug gets in the way of this section. So having this makes it a little bit further away, but also you don't have to worry about the direction at all. So you could easily just damage the cable or the connector. Yeah, $60 for that thing. Let me see if I can find a link. I got it on Amazon.ca, so AT8 456 459. Looking at it upside down. Oh, actually I bought it on .com, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, so I'll just show you instead of talking about it. Yeah, you can buy. There's 2 available right now for $41. I'll put a link. Come on. Why does it just automatically copy? Does AliExpress have something similar? There's some risky stuff here. I don't know if I want to search this on stream. I'll try to find it. And what would it even be called? It's a mic. I don't know. Adjustable angle adapter. I'm searching and no, I don't trust anything on this website. There is another adapter called it's from OnStage. You can get this. I've never used this one. I don't know for sure if it's good, but it's a single angle point. I don't know. Probably worth getting. Even this, it's like there's not many of them available. There's one third one. I saved it in Evernote. From Triad Orbit. If you've heard of this company, you know that they're incredibly expensive, but this is their version of that that thing. So the Amazon one here, you can have it like a left or right angle, or any kind of angle in between within that axis. This one has, I think, 3 different positions. Just overall, it's heavier duty. But yeah, this is $45. I don't know if that's Canadian or US, but you guys donate some money, I'll I'll compare the 3. What do you say? Swivel mount. Search for Magic Arm. Yeah, Magic Arms. So there's things like this. Let's zoom in. You can't really see it very well, but these suck for microphones. They've got a 1/4 inch instead of the large. What's the size? You know, the standard mic size. They don't have the right connectors, so you need another adapter on top of it. These are terrible for mics. They're not strong enough. Chris North says, honestly, I'd rather pay a little more to have something metal instead of the plastic ones that fall apart within 3 months. 5/8 27, yeah. The Audio-Technica one, 100% worth the money. It is expensive. You will want to have 3 of them. But yeah, just, I don't know. It was one of those things like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money, and then it was worth it. Triad Orbit one looks very good as well. How's the smoothness or flexibility of M1 Mac for Reaper? It's okay. I think it meets my needs. I've been doing all the video edits on it because it renders video faster. Because Reaper doesn't use video cards for rendering. So, and also the Mac just has a better rendering option. It's a little bit faster. Don't have to use FFmpeg. And one of the cool things is if you have a newer iPad, you can use that as an external monitor. So I've been doing that. I've got the iPad Air Gen 4. And that you connect with Sidecar, and I've got my video monitor on that. And so it's pretty cool. It even, like, it lasts for ages. Like, I've edited for 2 hours using that, and, like, the battery goes down by maybe 5%. Pretty cool. Yeah, definitely, if you have work, get some work done. Don't waste your time with us. I'm doing this instead of work. Yeah, so I actually don't see any links. Post it. Did you post it in Discord? If you post it in Discord, I'll get it. But YouTube is going to block any links. Yeah. I've also been buying a lot of super clamps and adapters. So like these little adapters. For these type of clamps, I'm just obsessed. I now own 7 of these. Just bought this year. If you go on eBay and search for Manfrotto lot, you'll find good deals on them. Normally, they're like $70 each, but you can get them for, depending on how many you buy at a time, you can get them for like $30-ish, and I think it's totally worth it because they last forever. They give you a lot of options, and these adapters let you connect 2 of them together. Oops. And that just opens up a lot of options. I wouldn't recommend these for mics, but if you're doing video production, these are kind of like super important things to have. All right, our playlist is ended for the second time, so I'm going to add some new music in here. That's loud. Why is it so loud? It still seems really loud. Oh, I deleted the track and then... Makes sense. We can't see the screen. That's fine. Super clamps on AliExpress. How is the shipping on AliExpress? I always expect it to take a long time. I would consider it for some things. One of the things... I'll share my screen in a second. Once I get past all the underwear models and stuff on the front page. Yeah. What am I doing? I have a dedicated button for this. Why am I using the mouse? Yeah, I would consider getting these on AliExpress because these are very tedious to make yourself. And, yeah, expensive, kind of. So things like this. I think this seems like a fair price. How deep is this? They look cool. Better than a bare wall. Debatable acoustic properties, but yeah, better than a bare wall. Lots of different styles, colors. This wood stuff, these are a pain. You can't make one of these for $98. Even if the shipping costs another $100, you really can't make this. But you got to measure it, cut it, sand it, paint it, glue it. You can't do that for $100. What else is there? There's these. $45 a piece. I've actually been looking for these hexagon tiles. These are pretty thin. They're not for soundproofing. $22 for 12 pieces. Sure, you could DIY this, but you're not going to have the cuts as clean as this. It's not going to be a perfect shape, and it's going to look terrible, and it's going to bother you forever. You could always, for this price, you get 12. You could buy 20 boxes of it. You can stack them so there's different depths, and they're more effective. What do you guys think of this? Two to 5 weeks to Toronto. Okay. That's kind of similar to buying anything from China on eBay. It's about that long. Who's tagging me on Discord? Oh, it's not even the server. Yeah, those tiles, they are thin. .9 centimeters. So with the mounting material be one centimeter off the wall. They will do something. They're denser than a typical blanket or carpet, I think. NRC rating of 0.92. How is that? I don't remember. Yeah, glue a bunch together or pin them together. Because at this price, like 12 pieces for $22, you can't make that. That's cheaper than DIY. And then the more thickness, the more dense they are, the more effective they are. And this is the sort of thing that like you can have in your room and your wife isn't really going to complain. Unlike these, which I think look really tacky. I know that they're not very effective. They have an NRC here. Well, that's good. Fire retardant. It's always good to know. Yeah, there's no information about like how much sound they absorb, what frequencies or anything. So, yeah, these acoustic tiles, they're a pain to make. So, I think this is a good option. It's cheaper than Amazon. Cheaper than DIY. Oh, this one's expensive. This is... Yeah, this is like kind of the standard price you would expect if you were doing this DIY. Like $700 a piece. Not DIY, but from a traditional acoustics equipment company. For recording, nothing that gets hung on a wall can be classified as soundproofing. Yeah, I agree. But it's going to reduce flutter echo. It will help with high frequency. It'll reduce reverb, things like that. What else we got here? I can't really tell what materials these are. They look like just wood, but there's got to be something absorbing sound inside. Unless it's just a diffuser. 10 centimeters thick? Painted pizza boxes filled with anything, free and easy. No way. Come on. No one's going to want to work with you if you have pizza boxes on your wall. There's a company that will print pictures over sound absorbers, depending on one size. It could be a little expensive. The wife will love you. Yes. That's a good point. Having something on your walls that works for sound and doesn't look like mattresses or like egg cartons, like actual egg cartons, it's important. I think these look really cool too. Mix Magic Studios. What's happening? We're looking at AliExpress at acoustic treatment options that are cheaper than doing yourself. And how do we get on this topic? I don't remember. We don't have a plan for today, but we're just hanging out because it's been a while. Oh yeah, there's these the hexagonal, hexagonal, that's the word, acoustic tiles. I think these look great. I have no idea how I would make them myself, especially not cheaper than this. 10 pieces for $42. Appearances matter a lot. I get countless comments about these diffusers here. Plus they work. So it's, win-win. Yeah. Making the wood. I've seen some people make wood ones. They almost always regret it. It's not worth the effort. These are cool. These look really nice. I'm new to Reaper, but loving the journey of learning it. Yes, you got to enjoy the journey. That's what, it's so rewarding to learn it, to realize new features and things that save you hours of your life. And being able to have a DAW that you can completely customize to the way that you think and the way you like to work. Is anyone in the chat that does or that has made their own diffusers? Whether it's like this style or this style or, I don't know, this style. Thoughts on M1 Mac versus Windows? I don't know. I did a year on Windows and then I bought the M1 Mac. And now I'm using both. And the way I have it set up is a real pain. PRD diffuser, I think that's this style, right? Is that right? PRD diffuser. I don't have any experience with Linux. I know that it would. Yeah. I know that I would be limited on the plugins, and there's, I have a lot of old projects that rely on certain sets of plugins, and not having access to them would be a big problem. I'm actually using that super clamp to hold up a broken shelf. What was the other thing? M1, I think it'll be great once all plugin companies are making the ARM64 versions. Right now it works pretty well with the Intel version. Pretty reliable. Almost everything that I've wanted to do has worked. It's just like, for my own setup, it's like ergonomics, because I'm capturing on the PC and working on the Mac. And some projects I do on the Windows version because I started it before I had the Mac. All these things, it's just stuff that doesn't probably affect you. But yeah, it's been pretty solid. I think Contact, it struggles a bit with Contact. And a lot of people have been asking about that, but it's hit or miss. Marty says, made a cloud diffuser from a 240 by 160 centimeter deep frame canvas painted green. Is it... What do you mean cloud diffuser? Just absorber? Is it filled with anything? I do want to do some green screen stuff. I've done it a little bit, and it makes me feel so silly. But it can really open up a lot of creative possibilities. I don't know the difference between PRD and QRD diffusers, but yeah. I know that I'm not going to bother with building them on my own. But when you... Of course, the other argument here is with this AliExpress stuff is like, who knows what country they're coming from. These aren't like American made or Canadian made, and it's questionable ethics, I guess. Hi, Gareth. Stuff says, much better to make your own diffuser, tune it to exactly to your room. I think, well, my preference would be to get a generic diffuser because they last forever, I guess, that you don't need to retune things. Like these ones, they've worked in the last 3 places I've lived. And yeah. A day as a carpenter at most. How much is that worth to you? Wouldn't you expect to get paid at least $300? I don't know. I got better things to do than to sand like 100 pieces of wood. If you have a workshop, if you have the tools, if you have the wood, no big deal. But that's all like a hurdle for a lot of people. These are $100 a piece. That's kind of a lot, but I wouldn't get these because they're so heavy. I would rather have this style. Fill it with expanding foam in the back, so it's a little more dense. Mount it to the walls like these ones here. You're good to go. This you get, this is saying it's $3 a piece. It might depend on the size, something like that, but. Are these, I think they're paintable as well. You can do a whole wall with that. You can make, you could do a DIY gobo with diffusion on one side and absorption on the other. I would, if we're talking about general acoustic treatment, like broadband bass traps, definitely make them yourself. So this black wall you see behind me, that's my acoustic panels. And I've had those for 15 years now or something. Maybe not quite that long, but quite a long time. And I've had them in, I don't know, a long time. I've had them a long time. And they cost me like maybe $100 for 6. So that's really cheap, and they're very quick to make. Yeah, thanks for all the comments, all the positive comments. It's good to know that I've helped you. How long have we been going, guys? I wish it would say. Floor to ceiling with moving blankets, totally fine for amateur productions. Yeah, exactly. But at some point, if you want to get paid for your work, then you need to step it up. I would only use diffusers if you've already treated the room with absorption and you're still having, and the high frequencies are being reduced too much from that. You still want to treat the echo because like a bare wall is going to give you flutter. So a diffuser like these ones, they scatter the sound and they don't kill all the highs. And yeah, it's good. Okay. Still dropped a lot of frames. I'm gonna have to probably change my settings. I don't want to have different settings for streaming and recording, but seems like maybe it's my network or something. But I've been having problems for the last couple months. Actually, ever since I moved to this apartment, I think I've been having dropped frame issues. So maybe it's just I can't get what I need to do this right. Okay. Discussion topics. Who's got one? Adrian says, made a small diffuser as a wood sculpture project in college, and just standing those 40 or so pieces was long work. Yep. Cutting, measuring, cutting, sanding, priming, painting, gluing, and then figuring out how to mount it to the wall without pulling your drywall off. Yeah. Are we going to do any Reaper stuff today, guys? I don't know. Yeah, I should actually get going because I need to feed my children. So we're going to end it here. Been an hour and 20 minutes or so. Thank you guys so much for coming on the live stream. It's been a lot of fun. It's good to talk to people again. And there will be a video this week. Thursday, maybe? I think it's on the 3rd. But if I get approval, I might publish it early. So, I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'll have another shorter video ahead of that, because that video is I think 35 minutes long. So there's quite a bit of stuff in that, but it has a sponsor and it needs to be approved first. So yeah, thank you guys. Support the Reaper blog through Patreon, YouTube memberships, and donations, anything like that. Even just watching streams, watching the videos, sharing them, liking them, all that stuff really helps. Thank you. And thanks. Awesome patrons. And I'll see you guys in the next